Dear fly fishermen from all over the world, welcome to my workshop here in France for another talk about active nymphing. In this video, I will talk about the active nymphing collection that I propose you. All my flies are available at active-nymphing.com. They are all made in France by my hands and it's free shipping worldwide. If you have any question, contact me through active-nymphing.com. So let's go and discover my nymphing method and nymph collection. I know guys, it's really counterintuitive. I just need 2 patterns to fish all over the world. Only 2 patterns, I insist. I haven't said 2 weights, I said 2 patterns. This is the active nymphing concept, so I'm doing that since many years in France and Europe, and now I will prove you that it's working all over the world. So as you can see here, the formula is simple. You just need mayfly and caddis nymph to fish all over the world, because we are speaking of general diet of trouts and grading. Yes, they eat shrimps. Yes, they will eat caterpillar. Yes, they will eat minnow. Yes, they will eat grasshopper. You can find small statistic cases like yes, oh yes, all right, 2% of the diet of the trout are worms. All right, but on my method, I focus on the big picture. Believe me, all around the world, from the US to France to New Zealand to Iceland to Patagonia to the Balkans to Slovenia to Russia, brown trout and grading and other salmonids are mainly feeding on mayfly and caddis. I locked this information since 10 years now. I only fish with these 2 patterns. And the work is not in the pattern design, it's in the weight of the nymphs, the ballast. So as you can see here, mayfly and caddis, or mayfly and caddis like this, okay? Discretion, mayfly and caddis. This is the discretion collection with patina bed on the head, very discrete patterns. I will tell you more about that later, but in all the case, you see here again, caddis and mayfly. You can mix them. I will explain you deeply my collection. The true work is nymphing is here. You perform the good drift, you have the good indicator. You must know your nymph collection by heart. You see, ceramic nymph, pheasant tail. This is the same. Caddis, pheasant tail. Since 10 years I'm doing that. Only 2 patterns, believe me. I know it's crazy for you, but I will prove you that it's working. People focus too much on having a fly box with 1,000 flies. This is crap. You must focus on the drift and always think, is my nymph drifting close from the bottom? And it's not that easy. So don't spend time choosing a nymph pattern. Focus on the weight of the nymph and the quality of the drift. I will repeat it until the end. That's the only way. I really started to catch more fish when I understood that. You need these 2 patterns, but in 3 weights for every pattern. That's really important. Every pattern must be light, medium and heavy. And then you can make a strategy. Okay? So, on this video also you can see the ceramic nymphs and different views. And I want to precise you that all my nymphs come with an indestructible guarantee. I made them in France here. If you buy my flies, if they're broken, you send it back to me and I change them for free, because I want my flies to catch fish everywhere. So now I want to explain you what is the asset of the ceramic nymph. So, most of you are maybe not aware of what a ceramic nymph is. This is a French traditional nymph that is getting bigger and bigger in the world because anglers finally understand, it was not true 10 years ago, that you need the most compact weight to fish with small, heavy nymph. So it's as simple as that. It's written on the board here. On a ceramic nymph, 99% of the nymph is weight. It's nearly only a ballast, but with a very special process, I have these rings on the body of the nymph that is really catchy. To make it simple, you will fish deeper and smaller. So these are killer nymphs that we use in France since decades. But very few people are aware of that in the world. If you fish with smaller nymph and deeper, you catch more fish. That's the concept. So the ceramic nymphs are a French tradition. We had to upgrade for these nymphs because fish are more and more educated in France, and we have to drop down the size of the nymph and to have them heavier. And the only way to do that is to paint lead, and that's 50% of my collection. I'm fishing with ceramic nymphs since 10 years all over the world. These flies have been catching fish in more than 20 countries. Try it by yourself, you'll be amazed. A reminder about the method, because now I will speak deeply about my nymph collection that you can see here, but like I told you in the first video, all these indicators are crap. Focus on one method with one indicator and then have a balanced nymph collection. This is the main point, a balanced nymph collection and a good drift. You don't need more than that, but it requires reflection to use this collection of nymphs. So drop all these crappy indicators and try an efficient method and focus on the good points. Here is my collection, split in a standard collection and discretion collection. So there are two different weights, brass and tungsten. And I remind you, I only have this collection and this indicator to fish everywhere. As you can see on this map, these flies has been catching fish by me and all my customers in Europe in many countries in the world. And I will show you now again a video showing how I fish these nymphs with tension nymphing. Right, examples here of fish I caught all over the world with these nymphs. I have tons of pictures, but I won't spend one day showing you all my pictures. A trout in Iceland, a Lennox trout in Mongolia. That's a big trout in France. Big gratings we have in Europe. What I have to tell you, because I want you to catch more fish, is that you have to understand the difference between the nymph weight and the nymph ballast. This is really important, so let's go for this part of the video. Right guys, if you have to keep 2 minutes on the active nymphing method, it's right now. If you take your nymph and you calculate the weight, this is crap. This is crap. If you do it at home, weight 0.5, weight 0.1, 0.0, this is crap because this is the difference between weight and ballast. Knowing the weight is figures. It's useless to catch a trout. But if you know the difference between the light, the medium and the heaviest of your nymph, this is the true work. You understand the difference between weight, scientific calculation, and ballast. Feel it in your rod, practice it all around the rod in your rivers. Is my nymph drifting close from the bottom? That's the most important point. Like I tell you here, remember that knowing the nymph weight figures, it's useless. It's not astrophysician or scientific stuff. You can write it at home. It won't help you to catch more fish. But if you use the collection I propose you, for each pattern you will have 3 sizes. Then it allows you to make logic methods. Every pattern you have a light, a medium and a heavy weight, and then you start real nymphing. It starts here. Feeling the nymph ballast on your line is the solution. It's all here, it's all in the rod. If you're not able to grasp this concept, you will never be able to make a nymphing strategy. It's all in the ballast of the nymph. You must feel it in every water all around the world. You must know which nymph is suitable for which spot. So you see here, I use the same ceramic nymphs and pheasant tail patterns since 10 years. The key point in nymphing is the ballast choice. If I go maybe in very rough waters in Colorado, I will use my biggest ceramics, but if I go on a very small streams in the UK, in Scotland or in the west of France, I will drop down the weight of the nymph. It's all about that. And as you can see here, pictures of different rivers according to the ballast. This is logic. You must look your nymph box, look at the water like I explained to you in the previous videos, and choose on the nymph box which ballast is good enough, and not write the weight of your nymph on a paper. You can order some nymphs to me and write the paper and write the numbers on the paper, but it's better for you to go on the water and to test the nymph. Okay, light, medium, heavy, and you test, and you adapt it to the water to make a strategy. My collection is split in 2 parts. The standard one are weighted with tungsten, and I fish this collection in 80% of the case. And the other part is called the discretion collection. It's weighted with brass, so it's lighter. So like I told you, 80% of my fishing is done with tungsten because it's really heavy and does drift close from the bottom. But I also have very tiny nymphs made of tungsten. And 20% of my fishing is made with discretion collection in very low water, in crystal clear water cases. This is how my collection is made. So these are classic spots for standard collection. You see here, nice trout grading. 80% of the case I will fish streams like this with the standard collection. And when the water is getting lower, more clear, I go for discretion collection. You can see here a grading coat on a black bed pheasant tail nymph. Oh, these zebra trouts in France. Come to France to fish the zebra trouts and you will see how clever they are. You need really discreet nymphs for these fish. Right, about the beads color. So I use 4 colors: copper, orange, patina brass and black. As you can see here, examples. So on my standard nymphing with tungsten, I only use copper and orange. I use copper in normal case, normal, not too much educated, not dumb fish, most of the time copper. If the water is getting tainted, orange. So I don't need orange nymph because most of the time really tainted water are fast ones. That's why I use the orange only in copper. And to be more discreet, I use patina and black in brass weight. So you must know that the patina brass is really good because it kills all the reflex on the bead and it produces very, very, very discreet nymphs, like this one. You see, that's a really discreet nymph with hard dubbing on the thorax, a super discreet nymph for educated fish. So my nymphs are, to me, universal. I'm showing you here many pictures because I'm fishing with this collection of nymphs since 10 years all over the world, so I can go on and on for hours and hours showing you pictures of fish I caught all around the world, from, I don't know, the USA to Slovenia, Austria, the UK, Mongolia, Russia, you name it. So I fish them everywhere. And I caught some fish because I know the weight of my nymphs. That's really important. So you can see here, I even caught a barbel. Here I go back. If you guys are barbel lovers, ceramic nymphs are wonderful for that. Really heavy, barbels love them. So keep in mind that you only need 2 patterns of nymph, and too much people want to have 10 fly boxes on the water. I only use 1 fly box for nymphing. You really must understand that it's always better to have the bad nymph and the good drift than the bad drift and the good nymph. Drift is really important, but to perform a good drift, you must know all your weights. For any pattern, you must have a light, a medium, and a heavy one. That's the key, just the basics of nymphing. If you don't have that, if you don't know the weight of the nymphs in your fly box, if it's not organized, you cannot do any kind of nymphing strategy, because we don't use split shots in Europe nymphing, and split shot or drop shot, I don't know, nymphing doesn't allow you very discreet approach in many rivers in the world. So I can go on and on and on and on with all the fish I caught. You see here, everywhere, trouts, grading, oh, even a perch here. That's crazy. A perch when nymphing, that's a really nice fish. Barbel again, oh, even a pike on a pheasant tail, that's silly. Anyway, I can go on and on and on with all these fish I caught since 10 years for hours, but I want to explain my method to you. That's my main point. I know how to fish with my nymph, and I want you to do the same, to catch more fish. I want you to focus on the good point and not to go on the water with 200 different nymphs if you don't know their weight. Again, many pictures. And I've been too far with this collection of nymph. No, I am sure that it takes fish everywhere, because I fish them in more than 20 countries, and customers of mine throughout all Europe and have been fishing them all around the world. So I receive pictures from fish in New Zealand, in Russia, in Greenland, in you name it, Iceland, Colorado, Arkansas, anywhere. I know that trouts and grayling are mainly feeding on caddis and mayflies. So no matter where you are on Earth, my nymph will catch fish only if you choose the good weight and if you perform the good drift. My nymphs are only 30% of the problem. You are 70% of the solution. It's not magic. You must use this nymph with a great reflection and think about the weight of the nymph. You must go on the river with my collection, try it and test it. This is only 30% of the problem, but I guarantee that it will catch fish everywhere. So again, I remind you to go on my channel to the case studies. It's really important. In case studies, I present you very precise, detailed nymphing line, nymphing rigs, strategies all over the world. And I remember you that my website is called active-nymphing.com. Sorry for my French accent, guys, if you don't like it. Nobody's perfect. The flies are all free shipping worldwide. I made all of them here in France. And if you have any question, contact me through active-nymphing.com. You can send me pictures of your river. I can help you to make a strategy for your river. I remain available for any question. See you soon for another video.